U-turn.
See, here's the government. Can you not lick your foot in the background? Mac, stop eating your foot. We're not cutting this out. But anyway. Now, before we get into this video, when you guys immediately start disliking and start hating and start putting extremely explicit things in the comments, because I know those will happen eventually, I just want to address this fully, because we're gonna get into it. We're actually gonna take a video at take a look at the Sky News footage of the Millwall players booing all of the players for kneeling in solidarity with the Black Lives Matter protests. And so here's the thing: is that immediately people name this anti-Marxist, communist, what you would call it, aligning with the thought, just not the political organization, just the thought process of Black Lives Mattering, and not necessarily saying white lives don't matter, but just saying Black Lives Matter too, because inherently throughout history, as you can tell, there's not been that equality, and I guess people immediately associate that with Black lives mean more than white lives, and so there's a clear misinterpretation of what the message has been with these protests, what the message has been with the kneeling in football in the first place. People say they don't want it to be political. It doesn't have to be. It's a human rights issue. It's not a political issue to any degree. Now, Black Lives Matter as an organization, people take an issue with that, and you know what? Fair play. I don't understand, I guess, the UK's images of it. Black Lives Matter here in the US, something that I support wholeheartedly, as you can probably hopefully guess, is because I support equality for all. I support the mission and the progress towards equality for all, and some people don't. Let's face it, some people inherently don't. And you cannot be a Millwall fan and still agree with what the Millwall fans did. I get it, but I just want you to know that there is a history of racist incidents in Millwall, and I'm no better. I'm a Chelsea fan. Chelsea have a long history of racist incidents, and that's why, you know, in my support with Chelsea, I always take things with a grain of salt, because most of the times when there are racist incidents involving Chelsea are in the wrong. And I fully understand that, and I fully support getting rid of the people that are involved, especially with the Raheem Sterling incident. That one killed me inside. But I just wanted to address that before we actually get into the video. So obviously you guys gotta let me know your thoughts. Now, at least sort of hearing my perspective, I'd love to hear your guys's. You guys can dislike the video all you want. I don't really mind. I'd just rather want to hear your thoughts as to, I guess, what makes this more political, how it makes booing okay, and how I guess booing isn't racist in that regard, because it gives off the vibe that it really is, especially when you just get fans in the stadiums and you're not really understanding the support for, you know, the protest. It's a peaceful protest. The people talk so much crap about how the NFL was wrong for what they did to Colin Kaepernick, and then in the UK they're doing the exact same thing. So yeah, but yeah, let's get into the video. As well, guys, you can find the original video just down in the description below.
No sooner had they knelt than it began. The sound of booing echoing around the Den before the match against Derby County.
Wait. I mean, you can't tell me that's not booing. You can't tell me that. In no way, shape, or form will I believe you.
Millwall fans, they were the only ones allowed in under new rules brought in this week to get home supporters back in the stands for the first time since March.
That the UK probably doesn't like the thought of a Black Lives Matter political organization. Inherently, yeah, I'm gonna speak over her, guys, just to give you a heads up. I just don't care about the Sky News story. It's gonna be informative.
The club had been working tirelessly to prepare for the return of
supporters.
What should have been a positive and exciting occasion had been completely overshadowed. But the focus of the incident took a new turn.
See, here's the government. Can you not lick your foot in the background? Mac, stop eating your foot. We're not cutting this out. But anyway, let's face it, guys. Just shows of protest and solidarity in the long term. Realistically, have always been able to get their message across. Sometimes it's very unclear, and yes, there's always a lot of backlash in the beginning. But let's face it, time is never kind to those who favor injustice.
standing up for racial equality.
And I mean, you guys, people can say Black Lives Matter is peddling injustice, but realistically, it's just trying to peddle equality and equal treatment.
People feel quite strongly and have taken that approach.
His comments have been greeted with disappointment.
I love this.
I was shocked, to be honest. It just shows how privileged he is. It shows white privilege, that he can label it as a political movement and move on from it. I would say personally it's more of a social movement that is fighting equality and racial injustice, but him labeling it a political movement and not addressing the racism, not addressing what the fans have done, just shows that we've got a long way to go.
Players began to go down on one knee at Premier League and Championship games when matches resumed in June. And the Football Association...
I guess this is the thing with it as well. Also, I love the Marcus Rashford part in it. My biggest thing with this is that it's a player solidarity protest. Players aren't forced to do this. Yes, you'll get that negative image, you'll get this tarnished image, the snowflakes, blah, blah, blah. But realistically, if a player does not feel like they want to do this, they don't have to. As the Derby County player showed you. It's just that they all stand for this protest. And it's a silent protest in regards to just equality. And I feel like that's what the message is realistically trying to get across. It's that Black Lives Matter too. Not that Black Lives Matter more than other people. It's that Black Lives Matter too. And so obviously Millwall fans, I've never really, I guess, personally had a problem with Millwall fans. Obviously, the racist incidents in the past hinder the image, tarnish the image, and people who want to align themselves with the Millwall fans, you're more than lucky, or more than happy to. I thought Millwall hooliganism was fantastic. I thought it was amazing. But this is just a very bad look for the club. It's a very bad look for the fans rejoining the stadium. The first time you get to rejoin the stadium, you immediately boo a protest, which I feel like has only given it more of a spark to get the right message across. And so it's a little disheartening to see. It's a little disheartening, especially from an American standpoint to view, because let's face it, here in the U.S., Kansas City did the same thing. They booed the players who stood arm in arm with each other in solidarity. They didn't even kneel. They stood arm in arm with each other. And Kansas City football fans booed, which is something I wouldn't have expected. Kansas City is a very progressive city. But yeah. Obviously, this is my thoughts. You guys can hate this video if you want, but I'm still going to hopefully be bringing you guys good content that you enjoy from any fan's perspective, from any player's perspective. There's no reason that we have to hate our fellow man, but it's just, instilled in some people. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Obviously, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and I'll catch you guys for another video. Peace.